Hey, welcome back everybody. So today we are back with another video, and this time we will be playing Garena Free Fire. So we have been playing PUBG for a long time, and similarly we want to share some really helpful pro tips for Free Fire 2. So the first tip, landing. Now landing is a really crucial part of the entire game. You have to decide where to land by considering two factors: available resources and popularity. So you want to land in some place which isn't that popular, so you have to face less enemies and also has good stuff available, which will, let's say, help you to get set for the beginning of the match.
So let us just consider the Bermuda map, for example. The red places are places where you get a good amount of loot, and the places in blue circle are the places that are not so popular given the direction in which the plane is going in. But the crossed out places are places with good stuff but extremely popular. So for the best chances of survival, you'd want to go to the red places encircled in the blue lines. That will be the best places for you to go, and also grab some good stuff while staying safe. Okay guys, so here's our second tip, stealth. Now by stealth I mean that you must stay hidden and not engage with the enemy uselessly and when not absolutely necessary. Use ghillie suits or oil barrels for camouflage, or stay hidden behind rocks, underneath the stairs, in between boxes. Do something but stay hidden. But while hidden, ensure that you can run away from there if needs arise, and also spy and shoot down your enemies while staying unseen. So if you use these steps to maintain stealth, I can assure you that you will be more successful and more efficient in playing this game. But remember that though stealth is a very useful technique, it's a little difficult to master because you must also stay in a dominant position, in a position from where you can control things while staying hidden. So let us go to the next tip. And that tip is going to be let others kill among themselves. Now this is a very useful tip. I won't say important, but it's very useful tip. Now it may seem really exciting to just go out and kill two people who are already shooting at each other, but do not do that. Just stay hidden and let themselves kill each other. How will you benefit from this? Well, the number of alive people will go down, and the lesser the opponents, the better it is for us. So if you want to push your ranks further and win more efficiently, stay hidden and let the other guys kill each other like wild mad people. Do not do that mistake. And more importantly, if you go out to kill both of them, it may happen that both of them forget that they were shooting at each other and shoot at you together, which will kill you. So do not go out unnecessarily to shoot at people who are already shooting at each other. Okay, here's our next tip. Get yourself a car. Cars are literally my favorite things in Garena Free Fire, and they are super useful. They help us escape our enemies, get into shrinking safe zones real quick, and what's more important is that you can just kill an enemy by knocking him over with a car. You don't need to waste ammo, you don't need to aim your guns, you don't need to waste time. Just accelerate your car, hit him, and he dies. And even another interesting thing about cars is anyone shooting at you will have to first destroy the car, which saves you from getting shot yourself, and you can always jump out of the car when the car is on fire, when the car's hit points have just been exhausted. So get yourself a car. It will help you in whatever you do. It will help you survive, which is very simply the thing you need to do in such games. If anyone asks me about which car is my personal favorite or which car I suggest, I will of course suggest the Jeeps or the blue pickup trucks. But if you prefer speed over hit points and damage, you should of course take the black sports car, which many people call Lamborghini. But I don't care. If you want speed, you have the sports car, and if you want a well balanced car, that is speed, that is hit points, that deals good damage, you will of course want the jeeps or the blue pickup trucks. Those are the cars for you.
Okay guys, so here's our next tip. Try to avoid the open as much as possible. Now let's say you don't have a car. You have to move from one place to another. But when you stay at a place, make sure it's not open. Open places make you more vulnerable to enemy attacks or being spotted by the enemy. Moreover, the UAV won't be able to detect your position if you are in the houses, and the bombs that fall in the danger zones will not affect you even if you are in the danger zone but in a house. So being in houses or sheltered places is very important for your survival and ensuring your safety. Try to run through houses and not directly in open fields or forested areas. Let me share another thing that I do very frequently myself. Let's say you are going to hide in a house with only one door and no windows. That means anyone can enter the house only through the door. And if you have a car, park that car right in front of the door so that no one else can get in, and even if they try to snatch your car, you can just shoot them dead. That is a very helpful tip I find myself using all the time, so I just shared that with you guys so that you all can use that too.
Yes guys, so the next tip is going to be use the scope. Now it sounds pretty stupid, I know, but as it turns out, many Garena Free Fire players forget to use their scopes in the middle of a battle. Now forgetting to use your scope isn't really a huge thing, but using your scope gives you a good upper hand in the battle. You can spy your enemies from afar and shoot them down. This is very useful when you are using the stealth technique I have mentioned earlier in the video. So it's a very simple tip. Use your scope whenever possible and keep the upper hand in the game that using the scope can give you. Using the scope of course increases your accuracy, and you can be able to kill the people, the opponents, from a long distance, which means that they won't pose a practical threat to you. You will be killing them before that only, right? So this is a normal tip, so let's get going to the next one. Okay, so my next tip for you is that supplies are not a must. You know, it really seems exciting to go and get new stuff from supplies, but you see, it's not essential for you to go and get the supplies. I mean, if you already have a level 3 vest, a level 3 helmet, good guns, a lot of ammo, a good scope, a good bipod, landmines, a ghillie suit, you literally have everything. So you don't need to go to the supplies and get more supplies for yourself. You literally already have everything, so you won't get most probably anything new, so it will be just useless. Instead, you can use that as a great opportunity for getting more kills. You can stay at a distance, use your scope and shoot down all those greedy guys who go to the resources or supply drops to get more things. You will be able to get quite a few kills, and more importantly, you will be able to have better chances of survival and not get killed yourself.
And moving on to our next tip, have more mushrooms. Yellow and red mushrooms spread all over the map will help you get more extra hit points, which will slowly refill your primary health points when you lose some and when you are not under fire. So consider a situation where you have lost a little of your hit points and you are walking down and no one is shooting at you. You will be slowly regaining your hit points. This is a very useful thing, so have more and more mushrooms, as many as you can, so that you always have your 200 extra hit points full all the time. So this was our 8th tip, and let's get moving on to the next one.
Okay, so this tip is going to be all about using explosives properly. Now by explosives I usually mean two things: frag grenades and landmines. Now both of them are to be used in completely different circumstances, which I am going to tell you now. Now how do you use this? Now as we all know, frag grenades and landmines aren't equipped by default. We have our guns equipped. Now the frag grenades should be used in a close combat situation. Find a shelter for a few seconds, equip your grenades, and then while staying at a distance from enemies, just toss it towards them. As simple as that. Now, use of landmines. I don't generally use landmines as they aren't generally useful, but when the safe zone has shrunk to a very tiny circle and only a few guys are left, and you have taken shelter in, say, a warehouse, then what you can do is to place a couple of landmines at the entrances of the warehouses and then hide in a corner. So any enemy trying to enter the warehouse will immediately die due to the explosion from the landmines, and you will be safe. But please friends, please be sure that you yourself do not step on the landmine even by mistake. That will kill you instantly. Okay guys, so here's our 10th tip. It's a very general one, and it is going to be don't panic. Now let's say you were walking from one place to another and suddenly you realize that someone has ambushed you and is shooting at you. Your first reaction may be to panic, but the best thing in this situation is not to panic. Look at the minimap on the top left corner and locate the shooter. See where he is shooting from, and then find the closest thing you can use to shield yourself in the opposite direction and start running towards that. Now while running towards that, you may want to run in a zigzag pattern in a random way and keep jumping now and then, which will make it harder for your opponent to aim at you. Therefore it will give you a better chance of not taking as many shots as you would. And once you get to the shield, please ensure that you don't stay still or in one place for a long time, and then when you have got to the shield, use your scope to kill the enemy who was shooting at you, if of course you are able to see him from there. So guys, I have finished giving you my major tips. Now I want to share with you guys some small tricks that I use while playing Free Fire myself. Okay, the first one is you can hide under the trucks. Once you go to prone, you can crawl and hide underneath the trucks. No one will be able to see you and you will be completely safe from any enemies. My trick number 2 is that I stay in my car while I take the medikits. I don't do this mistake as many do. Many get down from their cars to use the medikits and heal themselves. But you can of course stay in the car and use the medikit at the same time. So please do that. Another thing is that while playing in duos or squads, you can heal your friends even through walls. And towards the end of a game, when you're entering, say, a small house, it's advisable to throw in a grenade into the house first, which will kill any enemies already within the house, and then you will be able to safely enter the house without any thought. Okay guys, with this I have given you all the tips that I wanted to give you. Now I would just like to tell you one important thing. Though I have given you all the tips, keeping Free Fire in mind, you will be able to use all these general tips in any battle royale or survival games like PUBG, Free Fire, rules of survival, anything like that. Okay guys, so like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and comment what you thought, or whether if you have any suggestions down in the comment section, and we'll be seeing you in the next video then.